I would like to introduce to you a special friend. Norm Amott is going to come up now. Norm is a friend and a member of the Johns Hopkins Project Restore Board of Ambassadors. And he's going to introduce somebody to you, and he's going to tell you about some of the very special things he's done to advance awareness about these disorders, and he's going to show you a video related to that. Norm?
Oh, that about covers it. No. It all backs up to an interesting story where about a year ago I met with a guy who had some means, and I was all in the end of this meeting, and I really didn't have something that had emotion to hand him. And we had great marketing pieces, we've got a great brand, we've got good information about Project Restore and about Hopkins, but we didn't really have something that put a face and a name and a story behind the efforts of Doug and Peter and everybody at Project Restore. So what we did was come back and kind of say, well, what's it need? And came up with a marketing piece that's a fairly elaborate fold-open thing with lots of stories inside. But the highlight of it is a DVD and a movie that leads off with 5 minutes or so of the doctors telling their story, and then breaks to a menu of stories of people's hope and vision and their voices. And we really tried to keep things positive and keep things honest. And we interviewed a lot of the people at Hopkins and a couple people in Chicago. And the people that really did all the dirty work and were the brains behind it, I want to just have Angela say a couple words. She's the executive producer of this thing. And she did a marvelous job. She wrote the script, she interviewed everybody, and really brought out, I think, our story. So if Angela come up, it would be great. Angela is from a company called Arts Engine in New York, Big Mouth Films, and she can maybe say a little bit about who they are, and then we'll go from there. And I hope to, and I don't know what the deal is after this. Are you sending stuff out to everybody? But we could send the DVD out to everybody too. Great.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Angela Tucker. I work at a company called Arts Engine, and what we do is we create social issue documentaries, and some of the work we do is create advocacy videos for different nonprofit organizations. So it was really great when Norm called us and wanted us to be a part of this, because we love to do work like this. I mean, it's great to be here and to see all these familiar faces of people that I've interviewed, and just to hear how everyone's lives really overlap with one another. It's such an amazing, collaborative community you guys have here, and you all are here for one another 100%. Norm asked me to tell some anecdotes, and I don't really have too many anecdotes that I could share. I think that the stories will speak for themselves, but I will say it was really great to interview Cody and have someone else say that they did the scuba diving trip with Cody, and everyone's footage overlaps into everyone else's. Everyone is just friends, and all the doctors here are just really supportive and so hardworking. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. We loved making it, and we loved getting to know all the people that we got to know, and we hope that you guys raise a lot of money. So that's it. If you have any questions about the video or anything, you can come see me after, and thanks so much.
The first time I experienced any symptom regarding my illness was back in 1999, right before the year 2K celebration. As I was traveling, I noticed that my left hand started shaking, and I couldn't stop it from shaking.
I was 12 years old, and I was playing on the basketball court, and out of nowhere, I had a really, really hard time catching my breath, and I got a really, really big migraine, and this is like in a span of 20 minutes. And my left leg went completely numb, and then my right leg was like tingling, and that was the last time I ever walked.
In the morning, I was fine, walking around the resort, thinking about playing golf. By evening, I was a little uneasy on my feet. I felt a little odd. My balance wasn't right. Had difficulty urinating, and by morning I was paralyzed.
Transverse myelitis and multiple sclerosis are really cousins of each other, and both are autoimmune disorders, which means that the immune system makes a mistake. So the immune system attacks and injures the nervous system.
The motivation for the research we're doing here is to try to find better, safer, and more tolerable treatments for the disease.
Project Restore grew out of a collaboration between the Johns Hopkins Multiple Sclerosis and Transverse Myelitis centers. There was always an ongoing collaboration between the two centers, and it seemed appropriate to now put our minds together to study these diseases as one entity and not in separate silos.
Doug Kerr, Peter Calabrese, and the rest of the Project Restore team have, if you will, coalesced together to form a really very unique program because of the way that people collaborate here.
The conventional paradigm is you have MDs, doctors who see patients, and you have PhDs who are in the lab doing research. But our model is very different. Every single one of us is both a clinician and a scientist.
Because Project Restore is basically a consortium of different researchers. It combines the expertise from different peoples in different areas of knowledge in neurology, neuroscience, and immunology.
So for example, Dr. Pardo looks under the microscope and sees the tissues from the brain and spinal cord. Dr. Kerr's lab looks at the spinal cord inflammatory proteins, and we're looking at the T cells that circulate in the blood.
We'll take spinal fluid or blood from patients who are in the acute throes of an attack, and we bring it back to our laboratories and we study it, and then bring it back to these patients and say, okay, here's what we found.
It's a very clear link between the research that's going on and being conducted and the actual improvement of patient care and patient outcome.
I view the patient as the third member of the team. I mean, my job is not to tell anybody what they need to do. My job is to offer them the best options that we have available and to explain to them what's going on.
So they know when I'm complaining about a tremor in my hand or numbness or that I'm experiencing vertigo, they understand what the components are that are causing this, and they work at treating and developing new things to treat those different symptoms.
Project Restore has three principal goals: recover from injury, recover from attacks, stop the progression of disease, stop disability, and regeneration through nerve cells and myelin stem cells.
These are devastating illnesses that are indiscriminate, and it can affect anybody. We've had, kids just a few months old to people in their 80s who have new onset of these diseases. So it can affect you any time during the lifespan, which is a scary thought.
Project Restore gives them the hope that one day they will get up from those wheelchairs and they will walk again, that one day they will play with their children like they used to, that they will be running around, going about their businesses like they used to before they were just out of the blue struck by these horrible illnesses.
It's not just discovery in order to make a discovery, it's to help a patient. And when you have that, you see that people stay later and they care more and they're so passionate about it. There's greater discourse of ideas. And so it creates a momentum that you feel like it really can't be stopped.
Project Restore is 100% devoted to improving people's lives by curing the disease, by figuring out how to remyelinate people and kind of not only maintain functionality, but improve functionality. And to me, that's the most important thing.
There's been treatments developed in the last 2 years that are continuing to improve the likelihood that people with MS and other neurological diseases will be able to enjoy normal lives.
Nobody else is doing this work. They are just awesome human beings. They really get it, and they really care.
Even if you weren't wealthy and wanted to make a contribution to an organization that really can affect someone's life, Project Restore is that organization.
We're so close. We're so close in finding cures for so many of these things. I believe that the disease will be cured. I think the disease will be cured right here at Project Restore.